When we come with that heat, we got skip on the.
Welcome in, $1 million extras. We got more UFC action this weekend. Had to make another episode with my friend Kyle. UFC 312, Kyle. We're back at it like a bad habit. How are you doing, buddy?
We're doing great. 311 was not great. I mean, it was a great card.
No, it was good.
Bait them.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, technically, we hit a lot of our plays, but we just parlayed every single one together, and the parlays did not hit, right?
Parlay sucked. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if the straights hit, but this card, we redeem ourselves. We're going to go 1-1, 50%, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to start knocking the door down just a little bit. Get it off the hinges, you know? You can't eat an elephant but one bite at a time.
And I've got a big belly today, baby.
Yeah, we there was more hype
you
going
take
into
that Lakers jersey down, dude. Respect to Kobe, but you know,
no.
Had a Lakers talk here lately.
No. Last time I checked, we beat the Celtics ass. Yeah, I went there. But Kyle, there was more excitement, I feel like, going into UFC 311 than 312 here. But there are some matchups that we do like and we want to talk about. But first, let's just review what a night it was. Where was that? Was it Las Vegas? 311?
I think it was Los Angeles.
Oh, Los Angeles.
Intuit Dome, right?
Yes, the new Clippers dome. They got toilets. They do have toilets.
They have sinks. You can wash your hands after you go to the toilet.
Yeah, that's a great idea, you know. But the main event in 311 was Islam Makhachev, and he made light work of Renato Moicano, who was filling in on like a 24-hour notice, pretty much.
I mean, I thought Renato would at least keep the distance, maybe keep the striking going a little bit, but it looks like right when Islam got a hold of him, I mean, it was just...
I mean, that's typically how it happens with all of his opponents, but it was a 5-round fight that ended in the first round by submission. Was it a Darce choke that ended it, I'm pretty sure?
Same thing he took out Dustin Poirier with. And Charles Oliveira.
Correct. One fight that did go the distance, it went all 5 rounds. Merab Dvalishvili, Umar Nurmagomedov. Decision went to the title holder, and Merab was able to retain his title, and he was an underdog in that one, Kyle. He was coming in with that staph infection, which is kind of a common theme these last couple pay-per-views, but we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But yeah, Merab was able to retain the bantamweight title in the co-main event against Umar Nurmagomedov, handing Umar his first loss in UFC.
Did you enjoy that fight? As a person that is starting to like UFC, did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, it was a banger.
Okay, cool. See, that's what I wanted to know. There's some people that are like, oh, they're just, it's boring, whatever.
No,
but
there were shots.
I thought it was 2-2 going into the 5th round. I was on the edge of my seat. And then I think what kind of secured Merab and this is a hot take, I mean, maybe not even a hot take, what secured him this win was him, showboating a little bit.
The antics.
You saw him, doing the hands.
He seemed like it was while Umar was gassed in the 5th round, Merab was the one that was, like you said, showboating. He was defending takedowns. He was switching it up on him and was able to get Umar on the ground. And the ground control went to Merab in that one. And that ultimately could have been what won him that fight. Oh, yeah. But another one that we saw before that one in a light heavyweight bout, my boy Yuri Prochazka defeated Jamal Hill. Kyle, I got to say I'm a Yuri fan. He might be my favorite fighter, just to watch.
It's interesting. Dude, he looked elusive. That is the right word, right? Elusive, yeah.
After his loss to Pereira a couple fights back, he said he had to evolve. And I actually... he had an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience that came out post fight, and where he was just talking about like what he did to train going forward. He spent time in the mountains. He spent time in Japan learning, not learning karate, but honing in on his craft and finding different elements to add to his game. And it definitely, he said he's never been one that likes to keep his hands up because you want to be in flow, you want to be in the rhythm, you want to be able to see every little minute detail from your opponent and try to be able to act before they even strike. But he said, he learned that maybe that's good every now and then after his bouts with Pereira. But round 3 knockout, technical knockout, Yuri Prochazka took down Jamal Hill, and that was one that brought the fireworks for sure.
Oh yeah, dude! I was in a bar in Memphis, and it was exploding right there at the end because everybody was just dialed in. Actually, we were watching I believe there was a football game on that night as well. I can't remember who was playing that night. But
Lions and Commanders.
Bingo. They turned that off, which was from what I remember, a close-ish game. They turned that off. It started with the fights, and the first fight they showed was Yuri and Jamal Hill, and everybody was dialed in.
Yeah.
It was a good fight. I thought it was honestly great it was great from both fighters. Jamal Hill definitely was wearing some shots, and so was Yuri at times. So,
another one that we were talking about beforehand, going into that UFC 311, RDR Rainier de Ritter took down Kevin Holland, another first round submission, and he didn't even break a sweat. Like, it looked pretty easy for Rainier.
I mean, I've heard from different podcasts, just once that guy gets on the ground, it's going to be hard to beat him. I thought Kevin Holland could maybe create a scramble and it would just be a little more, wild, but that was not the case.
Not the case at all for Kevin Holland. But as we look forward to UFC 312, kind of skipping to not necessarily the main card, but one that we're excited to look at. It's a bantamweight bout, and it'll take place around 8:15 Saturday night Eastern time. Kobe Thickness, Alexandre Topuria. Kyle, what do you know about these two?
Topuria, obviously we know that name. That is Ilya's, I believe, older brother by 1 year. And from what I know, they have been close their entire life. They've been training partners for each other their entire life. I hear he has a lot of the same boxing as Topuria, keeps the chin tucked, pretty, aggressive with the hands. I believe the wrestling's just as good as Ilya. Then Thickness, a training partner of Volkanovski. I just stuttered. Volkanovski. We saw Ilya knock Volkanovski out cold, and that is one Volk wants to get back, and I think they're hinting at happening again. That being said, Thickness will be cornered by Volkanovski because he's somebody that's been pushed by Volk this whole time, and Ilya will be cornering, I believe, his brother Alexandra, or whatever.
Yeah, so
it'll be a fun little fight.
It should be. Kobe Thickness comes into this fight undefeated in UFC 7-0, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions.
This is his UFC debut, I believe.
UFC debut, so that's his professional record. He is undefeated, but looking to come in and make a name for himself.
I'm checking on that too right now just to be safe.
But he is 25 years old, fighting Alexandre Topuria, who's 29. Kobe Thickness is an Australian native. This is where this card is taking place, in Australia. And a common theme throughout the night, Kyle, is that a lot of the Aussies are underdogs. You pointed that out to me.
Really, that is crazy to me.
So Kobe is 7-0 undefeated. Alexandre Topuria 5-1-1, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. Thickness is plus 280 on the money line. I really think he's taking this fight on short notice, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he is. He's a weekish or 2 weeks. I'm not sure of the time. I looked, and it looks like it's both of their, unless the site's lying to me, it is both of their UFC debut.
I was thinking that was the case for Topuria, but Thickness is taking this fight on short notice, like Kyle said, just about a week out or so when he accepted the fight. But good news for his camp is that he has been in camp for the last 5 or 6 weeks. So he's been waiting on an opportunity and was able to jump on this one. So, maybe that plays into part on that, on the odds plus 280. That's a lot of juice right there. He's very crafty on the ground as well, has great cardio. And as far as Topuria, he's got that same grappling and wrestling style as his younger brother, Ilya. And coming into the UFC, people I've seen where other podcasters and other fighters have said that, maybe this Alexandre Topuria is only getting this chance because of his younger brother, Ilya. Do you kind of feel or see that at all?
I can see it, but I mean, why would you not push it? Your brother's literally a star. His brother lives like a champion. I mean, he is a champion now, but he lived like a champion before. He reminds me of Armin a lot. I know Armin just pulled out because injury and all that stuff, but these guys, they show professionalism early. I bet his brother's the same exact way. They look like they fight similar. Both pretty cocky guys, but thickness. He looks like he has, he's not shying away from it. He's not his brother. Bring it on. And it's a bantamweight fight. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Topuria can also fight at featherweight like his brother does. So he is cutting more weight. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, he has that bigger weight cut to his disadvantage for Topuria. But Kobe Thickness has great cardio. If he can get this fight on the ground, then that's probably where he wants to be. But like I said, Alexandre Topuria is pretty good at wrestling as well, and has that same style. But if you're looking at different types of methods of victory, plus 280 on the money line for Thickness. If you want to get him by sub, that's plus 1,500. I might sprinkle a little bit on that, Kyle, because I could see it going that way.
I can see it going to the ground, but I was thinking more. I mean, if he keeps that chin tucked, Topuria is going to be boxing like his brother does. And from what I've seen, he has slick boxing. So I'm probably going to sprinkle by KO or TKO.
For Topuria?
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be plus 140 on Alexander Topuria. Or maybe, do you see this fight going the distance at all? That'd be plus 500 for Topuria.
And I was about to say, I actually can see this one going over 1.5 rounds. And that is minus, last I checked the odds, it could be changed right now, minus 122. It'll stay probably somewhere in that range, but I can see it going over 1.5 for sure.
So yeah, that's a good leg if you want to add that to a parlay. We're not saying to do that. Obviously, our track record's not the best, but always bet responsibly, by the way. But moving on into the main card, the co-main event actually, one that I've gotten really excited to see here Saturday night. Zhang Wei Li and Tatiana Suarez for the strawweight title that is held by Wei Li. And I have seen her before. She was fighting, and I think it was UFC 300 maybe.
Oh yeah, 2 days before the birthday, baby.
Yeah. So she's very, very strong and powerful, and very suffocating. Reminds me a lot of maybe like a Islam Makhachev type fighter whenever she does get it to the ground. She also has great takedown defense, which is something you need if you're going to face a fighter like Tatiana Suarez, who actually is the favorite. Comes in 11-0, 2 knockouts, 6 submissions for Suarez. She's a great wrestler, so you need that good takedown defense to try to stay up with her. I think Wei Li may be the better fighter if you keep it on the feet, but I don't see this fight staying on the feet much throughout the 5 rounds.
Yeah, no. I see this fight going 2 ways. It's going to be, I hate to say it, a snooze fest if it goes to the ground and it's a lot of ground and pound and, in the guard, clinch work, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I see it going, being a pretty big snooze fest, but then also I could see it if Tatiana Suarez starts, attacking for the submissions and going for the finish. I think it could get a little exciting just because I know, Wei Li's not just going to let that happen.
Yeah. Like I said, Wei Li is the champion. She is the underdog, minus 102 on the money line. Suarez, the slight favorite, minus 120. This will be taking place around 11:45, right before midnight Eastern time on Saturday night. Suarez might be the strongest contender that Weili's had to defend her title against. But if you think maybe Weili, if she can keep it on the ground or keep it on the feet, a knockout, you're looking at plus 330 points, plus 280 for Weili. I don't think she would be able to, or not that she wouldn't be able to, but submitting Suarez, that's plus 1700. So if you're looking at that, but as for Suarez, points plus 400, you also have submission plus 250. That's the most likely as far as the odds go, and knockout for Suarez plus 800. But Kyle, I'm looking at this fight going the distance plus 126.
Oh wow, plus 126.
Yeah,
that is the first time that I've seen that in a while in a women's title fight.
So you're saying that you would have expected it to be like minus 120, minus 150 or something like that. Expected to happen.
I would have, per past instances, I would have expected this fight to go the distance minus like 150 maybe. No distances. The minus though sounds nice. I mean, I can see it, dude. I'm telling you. I mean, Suarez, I mean, she's good. Especially if she starts mixing in the groundwork. Weili, we saw, dude, she punches from her hips. I mean, she punches into each shot.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very exciting. Weili 25-3. She is the champion. Suarez, as I said, undefeated 11-0. So how do you, if you had to pick one of these to win, who do you think it would be?
I think I put like a safe parlay in. I did put Suarez on there just because she's young and hungry. Weili, she can never be doubted. Trust me, I've doubted her once before and I was wrong. But somebody that fights on this card that I want to see fight Weili is Wayne Kong. I know we didn't talk about, diving into these fighters and all that stuff, but Wayne Kong, she's the one that like paints her face into the Joker, and she's batshit crazy, honestly. But but last fight we saw what happened. I think she got submitted. I would like to see her just fight for the title against Weili, but again, maybe she'll go against Suarez. I think regardless, Suarez gets it done by decision.
By decision. So if you're looking at that, as far as odds go, that is plus 400 on your favorite sports book, whichever one that is. Always bet responsibly. And as far as the main events for Saturday night, we have Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland. Sean is not necessarily a showboater, but he definitely stirs the pot in many ways as far as what he does and says. Everybody pretty much knows who Sean Strickland is, whether you know him from fighting or you know him from going viral in press conferences.
Oh, yeah. He always has something to say.
Yeah, but one thing that we mentioned earlier was staph infection for Merab Dvalishvili. That is the case for Sean Strickland. He has a spot on his arm close to his shoulder where he does have staph infection coming into this fight. Will it get closed up?
That got confirmed?
I'm pretty sure they've been posting pictures and have said that is what it is. So,
dude, I saw that picture. I saw his arm, and I was like, "That looks like a lot like his Merab's leg." But
yeah,
I didn't, obviously, I didn't really put note to it. But I guess you've been seeing more things than I have. But
I think it was I was watching a video from Alexander Volkanovski who was going over some of these fights, and maybe he was the one that mentioned it, but. Sean Strickland comes into this one 29-6. I don't think he's going to be somebody that would let that, pull him out of the fight or use that as an excuse of why he may or may not win. But 11 knockouts for Strickland, 4 submissions. He is plus 176 on the money line. As far as Dricus du Plessis, 22-2, 9-0. 9 knockouts, 11 submissions. And I'm pretty sure he's undefeated in UFC as well. So he is minus 220 on the money line. He is the middleweight champion, making his title defense Saturday night, really just early Sunday morning. But as far as du Plessis goes, cardio was a struggle earlier on in his UFC career. but it's something that over the last couple fights he's improved on. But Sean Strickland's the type of guy who's going to test your cardio. He's always walking you down. He's always trying to keep the pace up as far as, pressure goes and having to defend his punches. He's a very safe fighter and very aggravating is the best way to put it. But he's definitely going to test Duplessis' cardio as far as that goes.
Dude, I'm actually getting more excited for this fight as it goes on because, like we were talking about Merab, relentless on the pressure, relentless on the gas. I think that Duplessis is the same exact way. He's going to push the pace, or I guess he's going to have the fight come to him because, like you said, Sean Strickland, he is always walking you down. I don't think he's going to be able to walk Duplessis down as easy as he did Izzy. Duplessis did make a point, and I've kind of noted it in the back of my brain, is would Sean Strickland have ever got that chance for the title had I can't remember who dropped out right now off the top of my head, but Sean Strickland probably would have never got that title shot. I think he was number 7, and he knew that if he didn't take that shot for the title when he was presented to him, he probably would have never got that again. That to say, I like Sean Strickland in a sense of he is always in your face. He's always, in your grill. But Duplessis, I mean, I think he's going to put on a class act like Merab did and a lot of takedowns. They said Sean Strickland's been working on his, defense, his takedown defense. I know he's always quick to get up too if he does get taken down. I think that Duplessis, though, gets it done. I would say by decision, but I don't see both title fights not going the distance. So one of these got to end early. And I think that if one ends early, it's going to be this one, and it's going to be Duplessis by, I want to say submission, but something's leading me to knockout, dude.
Knockout plus 330 for Duplessis, submission plus 750. And if you think it's not going to go the distance, that is plus 130. So minus 220 on the money line for Duplessis. He's kind of a heavy favorite. Sean Strickland plus 176. Duplessis is going to go for those takedowns. He's going to try to, like you said, not let Sean Strickland just walk him down the whole time and keep that pressure up. But that cardio may fade towards the end of the fight, and if that happens, maybe Sean Strickland can get a few in. But if it does go the distance, you're looking at on points for Duplessis plus 160. Plus 280 for Sean Strickland. And if I had to pick anything in this one, I would maybe go over over the rounds. What is it? Probably 2.5. The line.
No, it's probably 4.5.
Let me check that real quick before I speak on it. But I do see this fight going maybe not the whole way, but it's going to be a fun, entertaining fight. I don't see either one of these guys catching the other early as far as that goes.
While you're looking at that, Skylar, I think that you're right in a sense of, like I said, Sean Strickland's quick to get up. Duplessis, he's not going to want to get hit in the face as many times as Sean Strickland can hit him in the face. That being said, we've seen Duplessis take a beating in the sense of his face gets battered up, but he just has that relentless on the gas. He can be beat up, but he's not going to let that take him out. We saw that in the first fight when they fought the first time. Dude, fireworks. It was a good fight. A lot of people said, Sean Strickland got robbed. I think that's the case. I think that, wrestling, people just don't like wrestling, I guess, for some reason. They like to see a knockout, and Duplessis had a lot of ground time. So,
yeah, it's like hitting home runs in baseball. Nobody likes to watch a full baseball game, but you show them the highlights of the home run derby everybody's in.
Like a full baseball game.
Back to that, though, total rounds over under 4.5. You were right on that. So if you're going to, be looking at that, under 4.5 will be plus 148. Over 4.5, maybe you want to throw that in a parlay, minus 190. But like you said, this is the second edition of Duplessis v. Strickland, as Strickland did hold the title that was taken from him by Duplessis, and he's going to get another shot at the title once again. But it's going to be exciting, man. I'm actually getting, like you said, more and more pumped for this. Just the whole card, really, especially the three that we've been talking about here tonight.
Oh, dude, I'm an idiot. I'm pretty sure that Izzy was fighting Duplessis. Duplessis got ruled out from an ankle injury. And that was the whole debacle. Is Sean Strickland was like, dude, you were icing your ankle. You didn't want to take the fight. You were scared, whatever. Duplessis came back and was like, you would have never got that shot again. So that's why you had to take it. And he made a good argument saying that, because it's like, would Sean Strickland have gotten that shot? You know? So.
Yeah. But yeah, that last fight between them did go the distance. It was Duplessis by decision. And as you said, a lot of people think Sean Strickland was robbed of that decision. He did have more strikes in 4 out of the 5 rounds, although Duplessis did have a couple more takedowns, and he did have ground control for, I think, a total of 2 or 3 minutes. So maybe that's what won him that fight. But Sean Strickland's going to be, he's coming, man. He's going to be ready for it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he's ready to throw down. I mean, Duplessis, though, I think that it'll end up, like you're talking about, he'll end up taking him down. It'll be some ground time. Maybe Sean Strickland can get up as quick as he did, in the first fight. He did it a few times. He got up pretty quick. I'd have to refresh myself and watch that fight again. But from what I can remember, it was a pretty close fight regardless. And I don't think it'll be as close this time, because I think both of them got a feel for each other pretty well. So
yeah,
one way or the other, somebody's going to be ready, really ready.
Any plays you want to give the people?
Let's see here. I have on this one, sorry, I'm looking at my little reference sheet. This is the locks, by the way. Just kidding. Not betting. Professional advice right here. This is complete fade. Fade this.
Bet your rent on it.
Yeah, bet it all. Actually, I have Duplessis by knockout. I think he's going to let the hands go a little bit. But I will say, if he lets those hands go, he better watch the return, because Sean is quick to boom.
Yeah.
But I do have a few parlays here if you'd like to tell me what you think of these. I have a safe play, and then I have a more value play. You tell me what you think of these. You ready?
I'm ready.
As you have mentioned, there are a lot of Australian underdogs in this card, and they're fighting in Australia. So I'm like, that's kind of, weird. Anyways, for the safety play, I have Justin Tafa. If I mispronounce any of these names, I'm sorry. Justin Tafa under 1.5 rounds. That is minus 205. Then we have Jimmy Crute, money line, plus 132. He is the underdog. And then I have Alexandre over 1.5 rounds. That fight over 1.5 rounds, that is minus 122. Last I looked, that totaled out to be plus 528. I believe I looked and the odds dropped. I'm not sure what to, but those odds have dropped. So we know what that means. If the odds drop, it's going to hit.
Yeah, of course. That's always what that means.
I think that's what that means. I don't know. For the more value play, I'll get your overview of both of those after I say this value play. Value play, I have Jack Jenkins money line, plus 186. Alexandre by KO or TKO, plus 125. Jimmy Crute money line, plus 132. And that totals out to be plus 1459. I believe those odds dropped as well.
You know what? You know why those aren't going to hit? Because the underdog Jimmy Crute is in both of those.
That is true. If the leg fails, and it's going to be that one, it's going to mess up both of those.
Yeah. I like it though, man. Hey, you just got to swing for the fences sometimes.
Hey, they say, what do they say? Scared money don't make money. So my money is literally not scared.
My money is shivering in its boots.
It's actually shivering too. So sprinkle. We're going to sprinkle on both of these.
So Kyle, before we get off here, couple of things that we could look at. Looking forward to UFC 313 next month. But before we get there, you got a guy that's fighting in a UFC Fight Night. What is it, March 1st? March 1st,
baby. Danny Barlow. He's fighting Sam Patterson. Pretty lengthy dude. I'm pretty sure he's great on the ground. Submission artist from England, I want to say. Don't want to be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's England. But it doesn't even matter when you're fighting Danny Barlow out of Memphis, Tennessee. Give me Danny Barlow by knockout. I don't even care. I'm putting it right now.
Nice. So that'll be UFC Fight Night. Do you know where that's at? Where they're doing that at?
I believe that's Vegas at the
Vegas. Cool. So we'll be rooting on Danny Barlow for sure. Hopefully, we can see him come out with a win. But I think the week after that will be UFC 313. And what do you know about this main event? Alex Pereira, an underdog, defending his title.
Brother, I don't even care about that fight. Sorry about it. Give me Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, 5 rounds. What?
All the way? You think it's going all the way?
No. I'm saying it's a 5-round fight. That's does the UFC want to see somebody die?
Yeah, that's a good point. And we saw Justin Gaethje's last fight. That was the Max Holloway, stand right here, bop, bop, bop.
That's what I had stuck in my brain. Yeah. So I'm sorry.
How could you forget that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Justin Gaethje. That was 300, right? That was.
Yes.
Living room.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the first big pay-per-views that I watched, and it might have been the biggest pay-per-view of all time at the time. But as we wrap up here, that is going to be UFC 313, Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, and then the main event, Alex Pereira. And he's going to defend his light heavyweight title against Magomed Ankalaev. And like I said, the champ is the underdog. The champ is the dog, man.
And that I don't think we've seen Pereira be the underdog like this. I mean, maybe in the Izzy fights, but like this dude, I mean, if anybody were to beat him, it will be Ankalaev. But I've seen some clips of Pereira, defending some takedowns and even the ground game. You don't hear that, do you?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool.
Just little miles, right?
Yeah, little miles. But see him defending his title or defending the takedowns. So I do see if anybody beats him, Ankalaev has a good chance. But I mean, Pereira, he's just a freak of nature. So we'll see. Yeah,
he's got that kiss of death. We will review UFC 312 next time as we get ready for UFC 313 and the UFC Fight Night with Kyle's boy Danny Barlow taking the octagon. So, Kyle, thanks for joining me. You got any what?
You have one bet to make, one straight line. Who are you taking this fight right now? You have to put your whole car on one bet. What is it?
For UFC 312?
312.
Man.
We're going to see if you're going to be driving a car next episode.
Okay. I like this. Give me you got me right here, bro. I got two of them. Parlay them. I'm going to put my car on parlay.
The passenger seat, baby. Yeah. We're putting both on the line.
Zhang Wei Li money line, -102. You know who I'm pairing it with?
Who?
Thickness.
Thickness by
Colby money. Thickness money line +280.
This guy's a crazy guy.
Colby Thickness.
No, I don't have Colby Thickness.
Oh, you got Taporia.
I have Alexandre, or I gotta stop saying his first name, dude. I don't know. I
think it's Alexandre, yeah.
I got Taporia Slimness by over 1.5 rounds, actually. That's my lock of this. And it might be minus odds. It is -122 last I looked. But hey, over 1.5 rounds. I'm putting my car in it. Oh, wait, you said I got to put something else down? Cool. I'll put my left leg on.
Oh, no, not the left leg.
I think I like Justin Tafa money line.
Yeah, I was looking at that one too. And he's even plus money. What was it? +124. Justin Tafa against Teixeira. So there you have it. We have all the plays for you to fade and make yourself some money.
Plays to fade, episode 2.
Don't do that. Don't tell us at all. So, Kyle, thanks for joining. We gotta get out of here, but this is UFC 312. Our not review, but our preview and predictions of what's gonna happen. Thank you to everybody that is watching and has watched the last couple episodes that we've done this. We had a pretty good turnout on the last video, so I had to make sure that we got this done once again. But until next time, we'll see you next time.
Hey, we'll see you later. And Skylar, this one right here is for the this is for the clip, the whatever it's called, the picture. So
all right, there it is.
Clip it, baby. Woo!
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Peace.